Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares about what you want to see. The world doesn't revolve around you. Fuck you. Like, that's what y'all be thinking. The world revolve around you, and I'm supposed to do. I always got to do something on your terms. Like, fuck you. Hold on.
Every time I create a positive thought in my mind, also I create a negative thought. It's just like, I'm going to be very successful. My mind said, oh, no, you're not, you know? Okay. So since I create positive and negative, it's which one I give the most attention that is powerful. When I think positive constantly, it's very powerful and it controls me. If I think negative all the time, it's going to control me too. So right now, my positive thought is there is no going to be no disaster to destroy what I have planned for me and my family. What is going on? Oh man, it's like another video, man. So y'all already know what's going on. 10 years old, right? Michael Jackson called her best friend, mother-like figure, and also his girlfriend, and he said she was all of that to him in one. He even had a shrine in his house of Diana Ross. I'm gonna play y'all a short clip that shows the picture from another creator on TikTok that talked about it. Okay, I love Michael Jackson. I do, always will, always have. However, I have to admit, during my search about him and Diana Ross, it's showing me that Michael was a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And let's talk about it. So in 1988, Michael Jackson bought a home and he named it Neverland. You know his famous home, Neverland. And here is a room inside of his home. And this room is dedicated to Diana Ross. It is a shrine. Pepsi officials, they did a tour of his home, and they said that he had pictures filled with Diana all over the walls, like at every angle. They said that there were hundreds of candles sitting on shelves, tables on the floors. Like it was candles everywhere. And guess how long he kept the candles lit? 24/7. Baby, that's witchcraft. And see, his brothers have always said that he have an obsession with Diana Ross. They can say it the nicest way they want to, but they have always said that he had an obsession with Diana Ross. And see, this obsession and this praise for this woman, a shrine room, it just shows you the effects of him being groomed by her. He said she was like a mother to him, a sister to him, and a romantic lover. I've never heard anyone ever say that, ever. Mind you, he's been under her wing since he was 10 years old and she was 24. Shrine of Diana Ross in his house. Now, when we go back to Diana Ross and the Supremes and Mary Wilson and the other lady, Florence Ballard, I think, now I probably did this. I wasn't completely sure how far they were into the group and into Motown when Florence died. She died in 1976 at the age of 32. And I think it was pulmonary something in her heart. One of her arteries in her heart was the narrative, the official narrative. But you wouldn't believe it, y'all. She died on a Sunday, 1976, at the age of 32. And when I went back and saw that she died on a Sunday, I instantly thought that Diana Ross sacrificed her. Now, she had problems of alcoholism because Mary Wilson came out and said she was assaulted by, she was held at knife. Basically, like the person was at gunpoint. She was held at knife point and she was assaulted. And that turned her to alcoholism and depression and all kind of other stuff, right? She said they were all virgins at the time. Florence was abused by a neighborhood guy there. It absolutely just took everything out of her. I mean, and Diana and I, first of all, didn't know what was going on because we didn't hear from her like for about 2 weeks. Well, that was odd because we were such good friends. Eventually, Diane came over, and Florence came over to me and Diane, and she told us what had happened to her. Yeah. And we were all virgins, and for her to sit there and tell us what had happened to her, almost was just too much to bear. Just so sorry, and to see that
something could happen to our friend, and you could see that she was no longer the girl that she was. She was like devoid of whoever she was. We thought that when we became famous, we made lots of money, then she would forget about it. Yeah. We'd go on and we would, hey, because by now we're like international stars. I kind of assumed that she was okay, but back then people didn't talk about those things. When the pressures then start coming in from the outside of being a star now, all of a sudden, it was just horrible for her, and she could not adjust to what was going on. So eventually, yes, she did start drinking. So I told Florence the story only because I got very upset when people said, "Oh, one of the Supremes was an alcoholic, and and then she got so fat, and she was this, and she was that." I was like, "How cruel can people be when they don't understand why people drink?" And she, was forced at knife point, and that's what kind of took her down. And in my mind, made her, you know, basically the sacrificial lamb. When someone's already going through something and they don't ever quite come back from it, other people.
Bruh, I keep having to go to the restroom. Like, I went to the restroom like 10, 11 times within literally 1 hour. It's crazy. I cleaned out all of my bladder, bruh. Let me weigh myself. I cannot believe I didn't pooped that many times. Like I went down a whole pound and a half. Like what? Hey, happy Mother's Day. Bruh, it's like every time every time I sit down, it's like I have I have to poop. I promise you I pooped almost like 12 times. Right? Like I got this I got this stuff and I took 2 cups of it and never doing that shit again. This is bothering me. It looks horrible, bruh. Oh my god, I hate it. I'm about to cry. I can't pop it because it's not that type of bump. I hope it'll go away. I need one of those pimple patches. I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. Oh my god, bro, this looks so bad. Well, anyway, yeah, I took this stuff. I took 2 cups of it. I'm fine. I hate when people ask me that though. Oh my god. Thank you for asking.
Who have to gain something to gain from it, something to gain from sacrificing a member, they usually will put that person up, to be sacrificed. The sacrificial lamb. 32 years old, 1976 on a Sunday, and I know how this industry is. I couldn't help but think that Diana Ross sacrificed her. Mind you, from the Supremes, Diana Ross is the only one still alive. Now, Mary Wilson, she died in 2021 at the age of like 76. I think she died in her sleep in Nevada. So, obviously she lived a long life as
Thank
well.
you.
But Diana Ross is the one that's still standing at about 81 or 82 years old. And so I was just going back down this rabbit hole and I thought this story was very interesting because there lies a lot of trauma, deceit, lies, grooming, all kind of stuff in Diana Ross's career. Now,
The whole shrine thing of Diana Ross I thought was very weird and revealing because what we know about Michael Jackson is that he became a master
Yeah.
channeler, so to speak, right? He talked about him channeling spirits on his dance moves. He literally said he would go to sleep and wake up with a whole song done, basically. He was getting hits from his sleep. That's how good he was channeling spirits, right? And now when I see this and you think of him burning candles 24/7 to honor her at his shrine, she was alive. And it makes me think of witchcraft. It makes me think of channeling. Makes me think of, you know, him maybe channeling her spirit or maybe having some kind of spells on her, or maybe they created it together. Maybe they knew a little bit something more about this type of energy than most people did, considering that he studied Aleister Crowley and his 777
Everybody know Aleister
he had
Crowley is
that
demonic.
777 on the sleeve. He studied the teachings of Aleister Crowley. So this makes a lot of sense to me as far as, the more deep spiritual relationship he probably had with Diana Ross. Now, what I also noticed as I was recording this video is that the lady Florence in the Supremes, she died in 1976, and Mary Wilson died at 76 years old.
I'm not
Now,
nothing's wrong.
doesn't tie together the possible sacrifice that Diana Ross did or Florence Ballard, then I don't know what else does, because that's a little freaky. She died in 1976. Mary
Bruh,
Wilson
I
died
had
at
2 Hot Pockets,
76
right?
years.
Now, when
Now,
I came to get my Hot
you
Pocket, I
know,
only have 1
that,
Hot
that
Pocket left.
connection tells me
Somebody ate
everything.
my Hot Pocket.
And, even though her death was sort of a natural death, as in Mary Wilson, those numbers I just can't deny. I just wanted to end the video here because we know, the things that Michael Jackson was into as far as what he studied for his music. And, I'm pretty sure there could have been things going on between them that a lot of us still don't know to this day. But I thought I'd bring this video to the channel, man, because I never talked about Diana Ross and the Supremes. And I
I like his videos. He talk about Beyonce. Let's see what he got to say. I'm a Beehive. I'm a Queen Bee fan. Everybody know that. I got a show to do. I'm gonna do a show today. I'm gonna do a show. So I gotta get off. Well, I gotta charge my phone first.